Today's video, guys, let's talk about the idea of changing your niche. We've got a lot of videos where I talk about how to research your niche, what a niche should be, the red ocean, the blue ocean. But what if you've decided, hey, you know what? I'm done with this niche, or it's not making me enough money. I want to scale. What should I do? Is changing your niche really the right thing to do? Well, if you're just about to decide or you want to do it in the future, please watch this video because I'm going to point out the reasons why you do not want to change your niche, what to look for that will tell you not to change the niche, because I don't want you to leave a ton of money on the tables, guys. Don't change your niche yet. Watch the rest of this video. It could be the most important video that you watch that I've put out so far. So all in all, guys, every hypnotherapy business is different. And I'm not saying whether you should change your niches or not, but guys, there are 3 or 4 main things you want to look at before you do decide that I want to go through now. So guys, don't change your niche too quickly if you're seeing these things right here. Emotions is a huge one. I see a big issue with therapists and coaches changing their niche because of how they're feeling. We're going to have good days in business. We're going to have bad days in business. Don't let your emotions blind you to what's really going on. Do not change your niche based on emotion. Like one day you wake up and say, I'm really excited about this niche. You go for it. Everything's good. 4 or 5 days later, maybe you didn't get any clients. You didn't make any money. You're a little bit stressed out. You wake up and you think, you know what? I want to change my niche to something else. Over the entire month or 2 months, you've jumped and jumped and jumped from niche to niche. Before long, you've done this half a dozen, if not a dozen times. Your emotions play a big role in business. It's one of the things I tell people, to take your emotions out of things. So if you're taking your emotions out of things, what's left in regards to the niching? Well, it comes down to this. I would say 9 times out of 10, the reason a niche is not working outside of the research phase, which is all in all the most important thing you do, but it comes down to inputs and outputs. What are you actually doing? Or what have you done over the last 30 days, 60 days, 90 days? Have you actually put the effort in to make that niche work? 9 times out of 10, when I ask therapists and coaches this, I ask them to look at their schedule and what they've done. We have this weird idea that if I've just done 1 or 2 posts for the week, that's enough. Or I had 1 YouTube video go up on YouTube for the month, that's enough. I think people underestimate, therapists especially, underestimate the amount of work it takes as far as how much effort and marketing I've got to put in to get clients. And unfortunately, most therapists and coaches don't want to put in the effort, and that's fine. But if you're really keen on growing that business and you're looking and wanting to change your niche, you have to take a step back and be honest with yourself and think, okay, have I exhausted all the possibilities? Did I really post as much as I could have, or was I really, really lazy? What have I done? If I look over the last 30 days and my goal was to make 10 grand, but I did 1 post on Monday, took 4 days off, uploaded a podcast on a Saturday, had 1 YouTube video go up that really wasn't any good, then I just sat back and did a lot of mindset. I prayed to the universe. I spoke to the energy and told me to bring in clients. I went and did another course. I had some downtime because I was feeling burnt out. Was that the best use of your time, guys? So I have not seen a therapist, especially in our program yet, that has put in bulk amount of work, and I mean posting religiously every day, the schedule that we give them, that has failed at this. Maybe the niche has not brought in enough money, and that's a good time to change it, as long as you're committing to doing the work to make that niche work, to make that niche profitable, to make sure that niche, and you're exhausting every possibility. Most therapists and coaches don't, and they're naive enough to say they have, even when the work's not there. We have so much competition in this market, guys. The only therapists that are going to make it are the ones that are willing to put in the effort and the work into the marketing, hands down. You can be the most qualified therapist or coach in the world, but if you're the only one who knows it, you're not going to make money from that. If you believe the idea that clients are going to come kicking down your door because you handed out a couple of business cards, or you posted 1 testimony, you did 1 Facebook Live last Thursday and sat back and waited, it's not enough, guys. So challenge yourself with your inputs. The more inputs I feed into the machine, the more outputs I should get. And you want to track all these things, guys. And this is where the emotional stuff comes into it, because you're going to have good days and bad days. You're going to have good weeks and bad weeks. You're going to have good months and bad months. I have them too. But if you take your emotions out and look at things logically and track things, you can see where things are going bad. I notice in myself that if my income in my training company goes down, I can always go back and look at the inputs and say, oh, hang on. No wonder my outputs went down. Instead of doing my normal 1 YouTube video live per day, I only did 2 that week. And I did nothing on that week. I was lazy on this day. I did no sales calls this day. No wonder my income went down. But if I look at my most profitable months, I've done the most amount of work. It's just inputs and outputs, to use a therapeutic term, guys, cause and effect. So be very, very careful making decisions based on the emotions. Look at your numbers. Look at your metrics, guys. The next thing is, how did you come up with your niche, guys? Did you research it? There's no point changing from one niche to another if you're going to follow the same system, which is I'm just going to pick a niche based on what everybody else is talking about or what I feel like I've aligned to or what the universe has downloaded into my head or something crazy like that. Not to say those things can't work, guys, but when it comes to a niche and a business, a research goes into it. We got to look at the research. What does the audience want? What do real potential clients want? Where are they? What are they looking for? What's the words they use? Are they in enough pain? Is it a niche where they can put up with it? That's a very dangerous thing. Or is it a niche where they can't live without a solution? They're the niche you want to go for. Now, we've talked about blue ocean and red ocean niches before. If you go back a couple of videos, you'll be able to see that. So I'm not going to talk about it here. How did you come up with your niche? If you did the research properly and that niche fails, fine. But make sure you follow the same research for the next one. But also look back, inputs and outputs. And before that, is there a lot of emotional invested in this? Okay, if there is, think again, guys. Don't change it too quickly. Last thing is shiny object. I've talked about this before. Guys, let me just say this. Business gets boring. Doing the same thing each day, even if that thing is working over and over, gets extremely boring and tedious. What our mind tends to do is go away from boredom into that shiny object. You see another mentor bring out a program, another event comes out, another type of funnel or website app comes out or something like that, and everybody jumps on board. And what's crazy is once they jump on board, even when things are working, they forget all the things that are working because it gets boring and tedious, which is bound to happen. Go to this new shiny object. It doesn't work. Then they can't figure out where they were before. If they do go back to what was working before, it's changed and things have moved on. We've got more competition. It no longer works. One thing I tell all my students is, and it's quite a stupid thing to say, but it's true. You'll know things are working the best and you'll be making the most amount of money when you're doing the same thing each day and it gets extremely boring. Now, people sure are going to say, well, if I enjoy what I do each day for my work, I never work a day in my life. That's fine, but that's just a cliche saying. I can admit it. I tell my students all the time, here I am on a Sunday recording YouTube videos. This is not the highlight of my week. It's not the highlight of my day. I've done this so often. It's so boring, but it's part of my schedule. And I religiously stick to that because I know the output from this is going to be in a very positive thing. I'm going to have more time for my students, more income for my company, gives me more time to do other things for my students. It's just a win-win for everybody. I'm never looking for what is the fun, shiny object thing, because that tends to be the thing that's not working. Once you know what works, guys, as far as your social media, sales calls, getting clients, just repeat those things every day. Shiny object thing, guys, if you keep jumping and jumping, it's as bad as niche jumping. It's as bad as following your emotions. It's as bad as not tracking. You may as well throw the towel in because it's never going to work, guys. So all in all, don't be too quick to change your niche. Is it an emotional change? If it is, be wary. Have you really done the inputs and the outputs? Are you tracking these things? Have you done enough work? Have you done everything you can possibly to exhaust that niche? If not, go back and do it. How did you find that original niche? Did you research it or did you just guess? Lastly, avoid shiny object, guys. Now, these are pretty obvious. People are going to look at this. I've heard all this before, Scott. I've done all this. It's still not working. Trust me. Be honest with yourself, guys. Don't change your niche too quickly. The inputs and outputs and what you've really done per week is probably the most important part. Make sure you've exhausted that niche before you change it, because you could be just on the cusp of some great income, a great business model, something amazing happening in your business, in your life. Then you let it go, you get complacent, you jump from niche to niche, shiny object, and you miss out on the lion's share of income, guys. So thanks for watching. Hopefully that was helpful. See you in the next video. Hey everyone, Scott Jansen here. Thanks for watching the video. So just before you go, make sure you've headed over to our website and you've got access to some of our free training programs. All you have to do is come over to scottjansen.com.au, come over to our business program, click on free programs, guys. What we're doing is giving away some free conversational hypnosis and business trainings. This is well over 10 hours, guys. And as you can see, we're giving you 100% off, completely free. Keep it for life, guys. You can go through things from our advanced conversation hypnosis training, some content and intros from our 100K coaching program, some sales stuff, some free masterclasses. There's a ton of stuff here, guys, that's going to help you not only become a brilliant therapist, but also a real master of your business. Thanks for watching.